And any community to be established, you need a center where people gather and do their activities and do what symbolize who they are. The key of bringing people together is the mosque.
The whole Muslim community here in Dubuque is pretty excited about the new mosque.
People who need to know us, now there's a center for us that people can know where to go to meet us.
It also gives us a space to have community gatherings and open that to the non-Muslim community.
And that's really the purpose of the mosque, and that's why they call it Jami'. It means gathering people together.
The Muslim community here started, really is not much of a community at all. I mean, it sort of started as a few individuals in Dubuque who were Muslim, and I think they sort of stumbled upon one another more than anything else.
I was born in Damascus, Syria, and came in here for my college education. And after that, I met my wife, and we got married. We moved in here in 1979, and there was no Muslims in here beside us. I guess there was 2 doctors that I found out they were working at the medical center. That's all the people that are here.
Dubuque's difficult, economic history in the 1980s and the early 1990s meant that there were at least pockets of anger in Dubuque, and so it wasn't a very welcoming place.
I came here in 1999 as a student. So I came with my best friend from Morocco, and then my brother came with his best friend as well. So we were kind of a small community. When I first came to Dubuque, I used to have people speak louder to me and slower, maybe assuming because I looked different that I didn't speak English.
I think those who came for a job found that the work environment was good. So I think it was some of the other areas that might have been a source of problem for them. The odd looks in stores, neighbors who were not very friendly to them.
It's not something simple when somebody say you become a terrorist or potential terrorist until proven otherwise. I'm Muslim and I'm Syrian too. And considering Syrian are potential terrorists is really tells me how much people don't know about Syria. They're the most friendliest people ever existed. But usually America is the most welcoming society to immigrants. And that's why we don't like to be accused for something that we really are not.
I think it's also a great time for a lot of us to speak up and have their voices heard. Anybody really who loves their community and they're very attached to their community, they need to know who's coming to the community. It doesn't mean that they don't want them there or they're not welcoming. It just means they want more of an opportunity to get to know that other.
I am a psychiatrist, and I finished my child psychiatry fellowship in Dallas, Texas, and I needed to go to underserved area. And I came to Dubuque, Iowa for interview, me and my wife, and we really fell in love with it. We fell in love with the bluffs and the river, the way we were driving from Chicago. It was so beautiful town. We decided to travel and move from Dallas, Texas to Dubuque, Iowa. When I came to Dubuque and there was no mosque, it was like kind of a vacuum. It was kind of felt something empty inside. So I was so eager to establish a mosque here in Dubuque.
He's pretty much the one who started putting the community together.
And I knew there was like around 10 families. I felt that we can start something specified and designated for a mosque.
One of the members was renting a house, and they decided that they would meet in the basement of the house.
And that's how they started gathering for Friday prayers only. And it was maybe 8-10 people.
So we prayed there for almost 5 years. And during that time we were planning for the mosque, but it was really dreams.
The relationship of the Dubuque community to the Muslim community here in Dubuque has been growing as well, just as much as the Muslim community has grown.
The nice thing about this area is still people in here are Americans, and they are very nice, very generous.
That much respect and wants to support you and welcome you and protect you. It means a lot for us, especially Muslims right now in America, where we feel that some people are trying to put us as the enemy of the state. And I think a lot of the people in Dubuque realize that that's unacceptable. Like, for example, when there was some people who wanted to do support for us, we saw a guy came and he had flowers and had presents, and he said, "I want to say how welcome you are here in Dubuque."
I think it has forced people to question, a sort of general national perception of Islam. I mean, it doesn't fit the people that we've met in Dubuque who are Muslim. I mean, they sort of don't fit the profile.
People say, "You're not a Muslim, you can't be a Muslim,"
Whenever IBM kind of set shop here in Dubuque, they attracted more diverse community to take those new jobs.
And that's when this place, suddenly we went from 10 to 50, 60 people in that room.
Between physicians in town who had come to town who were Muslim, who wanted to join a community, John Deere employees, and the occasional educator, it got to the point that it was just way too crowded.
We wanted to build our own, but we knew we were not ready. And that's when we started the seeds of collecting money.
In the meantime, they rented a storefront space on Century Drive and were there for quite some time.
And during that time, we were able to raise funds to buy the land and build the mosque. My favorite part about building the mosque is the way it was built. We had an architect who's a Dubuquer from here, and he and us, we had a thought of certain design for the mosque from outside. And when we gave it to the builder who's from Dubuque, he actually refused to build it like that, and he said, "This doesn't represent a mosque." He really changed the design of the mosque to be more Islamic. So for me, it's just give me so much relief that the city approved it. They supported us. The police department was very much involved. Everybody was so helpful, and nobody had any issue. It took so many integration of efforts for Muslims and non-Muslims to make that project come into life.
I think of the Muslim community as just bringing different colors to that beautiful Dubuque picture.
We are here to help and to live.
People here, Muslims in Dubuque, are willing to integrate, willing to learn and teach, and willing to exchange experiences.
There's really a live pulse, some really wonderful, beautiful folks out there who just need a chance to get to know that stranger.
A lot of doors have opened, and I think it's just a matter of taking the time for everybody to walk through them at least once to feel like the integration is happening.
The mosque is way bigger than just a building. It's a symbol of welcoming of Dubuque to the Muslim community.